Hey, what is up guys? It's Brennan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Wave Invoicing, which is an invoicing software for small businesses. They do also have a free version that you can get started with completely for free on Wave. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. But before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention if you do want to follow along and you want to sign up for Wave's free invoicing software, you can go ahead and check out that first link down below in the video description. That's brennanvalesky.com/Wave. It'll take you right over to Wave where you can get started with Wave for free today. Again, that's that first link down below in the video description. Again, some of which are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into Wave. Now, Wave as a whole does offer a variety of different small business software, whether it be accounting software, invoicing software, as well as the ability to run payroll, and a few other different small products within that software suite. We're going to be focusing in this video just on the invoicing software side of things within Wave, again, focusing on their free invoicing software, as well as they do also have a pro version that does come with a few extra features. So I'll be covering that in this video as well, just a little bit. So let's look at Wave invoicing software. So Wave allows you to create those invoices, which can, as you can see here, it can save you time, get you paid, and make managing customer information stress-free. Now, I've tested a wide variety of different types of invoicing software, and Wave is definitely one of the best. They do also allow you to customize the look and feel of the invoice, as you can see here on screen, between a few of their different templates, whether it be modern, contemporary, or even the classic view for different types of invoices. You can change the color, you can add your logo, you can see everything. So in this tutorial we'll be going step by step, exactly showing you the back end of Wave as well in just a moment, so stay tuned, showing you exactly how the Wave invoicing works. But I did want to cover a couple things here again before we dive into the actual software, showing you what that sign up process looks like and everything. Is that, again, you can create the invoices, you can also set up recurring billing for repeat customers. You can also get your bookkeeping done in here. So in addition to invoicing, if you want to utilize the accounting feature, it will automatically sync in there as well. Again, you don't have to use the accounting within Wave. You can just use them for invoicing as well. But I figured I would mention that that is also included as part of the Wave software suite. So as you can see here, you can send reminders as well, which is a really nice feature. That's something typically, you see in a lot of other types of invoicing softwares as well. So you can see if something's been received, if it's been viewed, opened, when it's been paid. You can track all of that communication within the Wave invoicing dashboard, so you can keep a good tab on your different customers within your business. So you can say like, hey, which ones do I need to send maybe an additional, maybe a personalized reminder? These are just the automated reminders that you can send out with Wave, which is nice. So as you can see here, you can also invoice on the go, so you can send them on their free app via iOS or Android. So they do have an iOS app and Android app that you can send free invoicing out. You also get instant notifications, like I mentioned before, and you can accept payments online. So again, it's not just purely an invoice, but it is also a payable invoice that customers can pay you on, and then you can accept payments in your business directly from the Wave invoice as well, which is nice. So you kind of get a little bit of both. You get the ability to accept payments and send out the professional invoice for what you're billing your clients for in the first place. So you can get paid, again, depending on your business. They say 1 to 2 business days here. It does just depend, and then you can have that securely sent via ACH or electronic funds transfer to your bank, and you can accept them, as you can see here, for as little as 1% per transaction. So it does just depend on your setup. And, as you can see here, you can get paid 1 to 2 business days for credit card payments and 1 to 7 for bank payments. So depending on what your setup looks like, that is the difference there. And then also to quickly touch on the pricing and differences here between the starter, which is the free plan, as well as the pro plan. You can save money on the annual versus monthly. Again, this pricing is subject to change. It's accurate as the making of today's video. I did just want to touch on the pricing a little bit as far as the differences within invoicing. Most of these differences are a little bit more catered to the accounting side of things, but there are a couple things with invoicing. So if you are going to be marking transactions and things like that beyond, that's more, again, on the accounting side of things. I have a whole separate video covering more details about accounting if you do want to check that out. But in terms of digitally capturing receipts, things like that, automatic late payment reminders. So that is part of the pro side of things within the invoicing. And in terms of the accepting payments within the invoicing, you will be paying a slightly higher processing fee on the starter plan versus the pro plan. It's an extra 60 cents currently per the credit card transactions when you're accepting online payments. And then, you would get a cheaper rate for the first 10 transactions per month on the pro plan. So you might want to balance that. I mean, it's not a huge price difference, but that is something to consider there. In terms of sending out the invoices, you can do both with links and PDFs. You can send them automatically with online payments via Wave. The automated late payment reminder, again, that's with online payments that you will send out. You can add your logo, brand color, that's included on the free version as well. If you do need to send attachments, this is one of the other things I figured I would cover here in the pricing section. That is limited to the pro plan. Same with the reusable message templates, which again, may not even necessarily need in your business, but I did want to also just mention that here in the introduction section. As well, you can do the invoicing and estimates on the mobile app, but actually adding attachments to them, such as maybe certain files, that is only on the pro plan there. But besides that, the majority of the basic level features within invoicing is included on the free version, which is pretty nice. You can do quite a bit. So without further ado, let's actually go ahead and take a look at what it looks like now. So as far as name, we're going to go with Joe Schmo, as I always go with essentially. And then for the business name, we're going to go with Joe Schmo Industries. And for the what your business does, you can go ahead through here and select what your business does. We're going to go with audiovisual production, I guess. Legal structure. Now, this is something that, you can always edit some of this information here too. So you're not necessarily locked into that. You can always edit your business name, but it is just important to know that that will show on the invoice, whatever business name that you do put there. So if you do need a certain business name on the invoice, make sure you include that here in the sign up process. Again, you can always come back and edit these features as well. And so the business structure, we're just going to go with sole proprietorship. Again, you can go through and select LLC, corporation, whatnot. We're going to go ahead and click next. This is going through the step-by-step sign up process for Wave. And then when did you start your business? Let's just say 2019. How many customers? Let's say, 2 to 5, I guess. I don't know, 6 to 10. One nice thing, again, you can invoice as many customers as you like for free with Wave. That's something that is not included on a lot of other invoicing software. And that's an important feature set here within the Wave invoicing. And then do you accept payments online? So either yes, I accept payments online. What type of payment do you typically accept? If you're typically accepting PayPal, or Cash App, things like that. Like these are things you might want to select here as far as, maybe if you're already on QuickBooks or Venmo or Zelle or however you currently accept payments, that you might want to include here, or no, you don't, or not yet, but I want to start. You cash or check, things like that, bank transfers. So you can include that information there. We're going to go ahead and click next. And then what would you like to do in Wave? So as you can see, again, the main focus of this video here is the invoicing within Wave. Now, again, just to mention as well, they do also allow you to do accounting. I have a whole separate video going over the specifics of the accounting. If you do want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. And they do also offer the ability to do payroll as well for an additional fee for payroll. But we're just focusing on invoicing here in this video. So we're going to select that. And then again, you can select either the starter plan or upgrade to pro plan. Again, the main difference here is going to be a little bit of the per transaction rate fee, that extra 60 cents per transaction, as well as some of the, attachments, if you need attachments or reusable message templates, things like that. If you don't really care about that within your invoicing, then again, maybe the pro plan you don't necessarily need the pro plan. You can always upgrade to the pro plan later. So we're just going to continue with the starter free plan for now. Okay, and once you have verified your phone number and you're all signed in, this is what the Wave dashboard will then look like. For again, here we have Joe Schmo Industries. And to go ahead and get started with the invoicing, and that's the main thing we're focusing here, we're going to go ahead and start to go through the invoicing setup process. So first, you're going to want to add your logo and style. So we're going to get into that for branding the invoicing. So all you have to do, again, is pretty simple and straightforward. We're going to go ahead and add a very basic logo here. So we're just going to go here. We're just going to add this very simple minimalist logo that I have saved here on the computer. We're going to go ahead and add that as the logo. So as you can see here, the 99 is the 99 designs is sort of the template there I went with. Now it will automatically sort of select, you can change the accent color to match your logo. It will auto select a color that may be in your logo or something that kind of gives it a nice accent color. So you can either update it or keep the current one. This is sort of like a weird yellow. So we're going to actually go ahead and update the accent color here. So to change the accent color, you can select the hex code. You can actually enter the specific hex code if you do already have that for your branding and for your business. But if you don't, then you can easily select the slider here. As you can see, the color is changing and it is easily reflected here on the sample preview. So as you can see, we have red, purple, blue, green. If you want to go darker, lighter, you can also kind of move this around. If you want to go black, keep it real sleek. Or, I would advise not going white because then you can't actually read the text there. So if you just want something plain, maybe just go black. You can also select a color if you want there. So we're going to go with sort of like, I guess, a blue of some sorts. Again, that choice is up to you. And then you do also have the template as well that you can choose from within the colors. So we already have the logo, the accent color. Now we're going to choose the template. So you have contemporary. This is the contemporary, as you can see here on screen. And then you also have the modern view. So you also have modern that you can select here, as you can see. Kind of moves some of the things around. It puts a big block color at the top. So you can't necessarily see the logo is a lot smaller in the bottom left-hand corner. Compared to the contemporary, has like a bigger logo section. You have modern, and you also have the classic, which does look pretty nice as well. This is maybe a little bit, again, a little bit more like styled, I guess, maybe the classic view. Really, all three templates I think are pretty nice. It just depends on how you want things represented in your business. Maybe like where certain things are placed. If you like the address and your business name in the top right corner, if you like the logo being more visible, or if you just want that dollar amount more visible, then the dollar amount, maybe you go with modern. If you want the logo bigger, maybe contemporary, or classic if you sort of want a little bit of both. I do like the amount due being highlighted here on the classic view. And then another thing to mention here as well is if you do want to get rid of the Powered by Wave feature, then you will need to upgrade to the paid version. If you're just on the free version, you can't remove the Wave footer. That's only available on Pro. But really, the Powered by Wave, it's not really too distracting in my opinion as well. Again, it is a free invoicing software. So we're going to go ahead and click looks good. Let's go. So we've selected that. Now this is where you can actually enter in all of the details on your first invoice. Again, this is just a sample invoice here for this tutorial. So I'm not going to be necessarily typing in things on every single section. We already have added the logo. This is where you can add in like a project name or description. You can also edit your business details. This is where you would add your business address, your contact details, such as maybe your phone number. That is where you would select this here. And then it will bring up a menu where you can actually add that information. Again, I'm not actually going to be adding in that information out here. It's not required either. So maybe if you don't actually have a physical location or an address that you want to put here, you don't have to put that there. The only two required features is the company and business name, as well as the country that you are located. So everything else is optional. Same with the contact details, although personally, if you wanted to make it look more professional, I would recommend filling in this information. Same with the contact details, maybe the phone number, website, as well as the business address. Would recommend doing that. If you have it, probably would make your it maybe would look a little bit more professional. But we're not going to be adding that here just for the sake of this tutorial, but that is where you add it if you do want to do that. Next, then you have the ability to add a customer, as well as the invoice number. You can also edit that invoice number. So maybe if you don't want it to be like, oh, you're the first person buying something in the business, maybe you want to make it just like some random number. You can do that there too, just so it doesn't look like, oh, wow, you're invoice number 001. You're the first customer ever to pay an invoice in the business. So you have that choice there. Honestly, I don't think most people really care or even look at that. But you can edit it if you want to, which is kind of nice. You do also have a PO/SO number. Personally, I'm not really sure exactly what that is, but maybe that's a personal organizational number or something. You can also add another number here if you want. You have the invoice date as well as the payment due date. So this is where you're going to be selecting, the invoice that's dated. If you want it to be the current day and due on receipt, that's the default that it will put. Maybe if you make your invoices pay in a net 30 terms, you just go here and you click on the date and you say, okay, within 30 days. Then boom, within 30 days, it's automatically updated here. Maybe if you are net 45, you select within 45 days, within 60 days or 90 days as well, or even within 15 days. So you have quite a few options. I personally like due on receipt, is kind of nice, but if you do want to just give your customers more time to pay and not necessarily be as high of pressure, yeah, that's up to you if that's how you want to operate. As long as they pay within 30 days, you select the payment due date there and it will update. Now, in terms of adding a customer, this is where you add in the customer details. So this would be a business person. You enter in, billing information, shipping details. So we're going to go ahead and add in a customer name. So we're going to say it's Sal is the customer. And you can add in an email, phone, contact name. You just need a customer name. So we're going to go and we already have that entered here. This is their billing address. So you can add in a billing address for your customer as well. I know a lot of people or businesses do need their address listed on the invoice. You do also have a shipping. If you are going to be shipping things, you can put that there too. As well as additional information, maybe internal notes, account numbers, things like that. You can also add all that here as well. So we're just going to leave it as Sal for the customer name. So it's just Bill to Sal, and that will then populate there. Now, this is the fun part where you can actually edit what is listed on the invoice. So you can edit the columns and see like, hey, what is actually billed out on the invoice. So if you edit the columns section, you have the ability to leave it as an item, as a product, as a service, as well as units, whether it be a quantity amount or in hours or a price, a rate or another, or a different amount as well. You can also hide certain columns and then apply those settings for future invoices as well. So if you want to hide item descriptions, names, units, prices, certain things like that, if you don't want to be entering them. Now for this tutorial, I'm just going to be leaving these features on sort of the default, but you do have the ability to change it to hours and rate and really customize things depending on what you need here in terms of the quantity and price, just to make it more obvious to your customers what they're actually paying for. So you do have a lot of flexibility here within the Wave invoicing to edit it to look exactly how you want it to look in your business and not be stuck to a certain label. You can change it to other for really all of these details. So you do have a lot of flexibility there. So for an item name, for this case, so we're gonna maybe go with hey, it's a design firm or something, maybe a lawn care company, something like that. There's a lot of different types of businesses that do utilize invoices. So we're going to call this a lawn cut and lawn is trimmed. And the quantity is 1. So it was 1 lawn and it cost, I don't know, let's say it was a really bad lawn. So it was a $60 or maybe $100. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a pretty big bad lawn. Let's just say it was 1 there. And then you can also add additional items here too. So maybe if you want to say, in addition, you maybe did some extra landscaping, then you could put in landscaping plants. Maybe you had to purchase some plants there or something like that. So you could also list it out with 1 fern, or something like that. You could really get into the details here, and maybe you just list it as ferns. Like you bought some extra ferns, landscaping plants, and maybe you bought 3 of those, and then they were maybe $20 per. And then as you can see here, it automatically calculates, the multiplication here between the quantity and the price. And then you can have everything added. And you can add really a lot of items here. You can also add a tax if you want to add the tax name and the tax rate. You can also just not add it if you don't need a tax there. You can also add a discount as well to your invoice. So maybe it's a loyal customer discount or something like that. You can do a percentage base or a set dollar amount. So we're going to do like a 10% discount. So they save $16. As you can see, it's automatically all calculated here on the invoice. So you have that 10% loyal customer discount. You can also do a set dollar amount. So it could be just a set $10 discount or the percent-based discount. We're doing everything here in US dollars. You can also enter extra notes or terms of service that you want, maybe for legal reasons or legal jargon. You can also add that here too. You do also have the footer section, so that would be maybe a thank you note or anything else you want to add to the footer. You can also add that there too. And again, the attachments are a newer feature that is only on the Pro version to add specific attachments. Honestly, you could just send those in a separate email if you do have attachments. If you wanted to stay in the free version, you could just continue with the free version of the invoicing and send any other attachments in a separate email from your business email or something like that. So just keep that in mind. That's not necessarily the end of the world for that too. And so once you have added the details you want, you can then save and record a payment, save and send. We're going to go ahead and click save and continue. And then this will show you the actual payment. Now, currently, I do not have online payments enabled. I'll be going through at least a little bit of the basics of that in just a moment. This is just a regular invoice without online payments enabled. So we have created it. It will then save a draft of the invoice as well. So you can see this is just a draft invoice. I have not sent it yet. And the amount due is for $144. And this is what it would then look like. So as you can see here, we have the payment due 1 month out. It is a lawn cut, so lawn is trimmed for $100, and landscaping plants listed with the fern, 3 of those for $20 each, as well as that 10% loyal customer discount for a total of $144. So that is what the invoice looks like. Again, this is the classic invoice layout. You have the total amount due, invoice number, billing to Sal, and Joe Schmo Industries in the top right corner. Again, this is a pretty basic invoice. You can really add a lot more details to this than I have here. So we're just going to approve that draft so you can see like, okay, cool. The draft, it looks good to me. And then in terms of sending out the invoice, again, I have not entered an actual customer email. So that is just one thing to keep in mind there. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at online payments now. This is where you can accept credit cards and bank payments on your invoices, which as you can see here, you get paid 3 times faster than accepting payments more manually. So this is an option you can enable. Again, you don't have to enable this in the invoicing software either. You don't necessarily have to accept credit card and bank payments, but to go ahead and turn that on, this will bring you to a payments sign up section. Now this does require approval from Wave, so I'm not going to be going through the entire sign up process here. I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a basic overview of what that looks like. So you can get paid by credit card, bank payments via ACH, as well as Apple Pay directly on your invoices, and this is what it will look like. So they can pay with a credit or debit card on your invoice. Again, there's no monthly fees to get started with this, and we'll accept clients' online payments as well. As you can see here, you can enable what types of payments you want to accept. So maybe you just want to accept ACH. Maybe you don't want credit card or Amex on there. You can set that up there. So you can only, you're only going to pay for what you want. So you have, control over the customer. So as you can see here, take online payments directly from your invoice, and you can select the preferred method. And then you can see the invoices. If you are using the bookkeeping and accounting software side of Wave, it will then automatically be kept here within your books as well in the accounting section of your Wave account. And in terms of the specific fees, as you can see here, it is just pay per use. There's no additional fees. This is just the variations here between the different payment processors. So bank payments is the cheapest at that 1% per transaction. You are going to be paying more for Amex, so it would be at 3.4 because Amex does just take a higher amount. If you have it off, of course, you're not going to be paying anything to accept payments in your business. So, maybe if you don't want to accept online payments and you just want to have like people Venmo you or do Zelle, but you still want to send out the invoice, that is an option. You can just keep it turned off and still be able to send out the invoices so your customers know how much they owe you, and it looks professional, but you're not necessarily paying those extra fees on processing the transaction. Does just depend on how you want to go about doing your business and how easy or difficult you want to sort of make it for customers to pay. It is totally up to you. So you can accept credit cards, Amex, ACH. They do have varying different fees, obviously, as stated here. Now, there are certain discounted rates that you may be able to get. With the Pro version, again, you would save that extra 60 cents on the Pro version. And so that is an option there too, versus just the basic on there. But if you're just going to be accepting ACH, then there's really no difference. It's always going to be that 1%. It just may take a little bit longer to get paid out. So that is something else to consider. And there are no unique payment links with just ACH. So that is something else to consider there. But that is sort of what it looks like in terms of accepting payments in your business. What it looks like, it will be a little pay button on top of the invoice, and you can choose to enable it or not choose to enable it. That's sort of up to you to decide on the invoicing side of things within Wave. So going back to the invoice here now, again, we have the draft, and then you can go ahead and send it out. Now we're going to go ahead and approve the draft. And then again, the automatic payment reminders are on the Pro version. And I have not actually sent anything out because this is just a test for the tutorial. Don't have an email attached here. It will get sent to the email if you do send it out. We're just going to go ahead and say mark as sent, even though technically I did not send it to them because there was no email attached. But if you do have an email there, it will send it out. So that is something to consider there. And then you can either click here to charge a card or record a payment. You can record payments manually. So let's say, in your business, you maybe got paid via Zelle, Venmo, any other platform. You can also just say, okay, I'm recording it. And then this will add it to your bookkeeping for your business if you would like to use that side of Wave, or you can just be like, it's paid. You can mark it as paid in here, and then you can keep track of things maybe separately, maybe in a spreadsheet or something like that if you're more attuned to that, or you can use Wave for keeping track of your payments as well. But once the invoice is paid, I would recommend marking it as just totally done so that on your records, you can see in your invoices section that invoice is then paid, because right now it just says sent. So I would recommend that you actually do mark things in here so you can see, your whole list of invoices. And in here, it will automatically combine the totals here so you can see your total amount due in your business, and then the upcoming payout when you expect to get your online payment. Average time to get paid, you can also see that data here, as well as anything that's overdue. So you will have a nice little dashboard here for your invoices that will all be listed out here across all your different customers, as well as each of the invoices will be listed here. You can also filter by invoices and really have like a good view of your overall business within the invoicing section here. So you have unpaid, you have drafted ones, you have all invoices. You can, click through here, select from a certain day, and really dig down in certain customers. You can really dig into the insights there as well. You can also send recurring invoices or even break things into installment payments. So that is something else you can do in terms of setting up recurring invoices. So you can break things into multiple payments for your business as well. So that's something else you can do. So you can also create a recurring invoice. So that sort of would look just a little bit like this. So this is a recurring invoice separate from a regular invoice inside the dashboard here. You do also have estimates. So we're going to be going through a couple of these in just a moment. I just want to sort of speed through this process as well. So we're going to select Sal. Payment due on receipt. The invoice date is already generated, so we're just going to go ahead and add it's a lawn cut trim, $100. Save and continue. And so this will be set up as a recurring payment. And then this is where you can set up the specific schedule as far as the recurring payment goes. So you can set this as a payment plan to end end automatically after sending a specific number of invoices, or maybe if you have 3 payments, you can set your schedule to end after 3 invoices. So you can set it to be like a payment plan across 3 different invoices here. So you can repeat the invoice monthly on the first day of the month, and it will end after 3 invoices if you wanted to make it sort of like a payment plan, or you can set it to end on a certain date if it's maybe spread out per day or something like that. You can also set it to never end unless you go in and manually end it yourself. So if it's like some sort of monthly service that you offer, maybe you cut their lawn once a month, or you just bill them once a month, and you're going to cut their lawn whenever you feel like it gets kind of long, or they say, hey, you're going to come and cut the lawn, but you set them up on a monthly retainer. That's sort of what you can set up there, and it will automatically send out that auto-generated invoice number, payment date, and payment due date, along with the item that is then you selected for the recurring invoice. So that is kind of nice as well. You can set up those monthly invoices. You can set them up as even daily invoices, weekly invoices, monthly, yearly, or a custom date, and it can repeat, whatever specific day that you actually want it to repeat in that month. And you can set it to create either any date you want and to end it any date you want, and within certain time zones as well. So you can really set out those payment schedules there. And you can set them to end, or you could set them to be infinite. So that is sort of what recurring invoices looks like. You also have the estimates. So this is very similar to an invoice, but it would be just an estimate. It is going to look very similar. So I'm not going to be spending too much time here, but you can send out an estimate. And then you can then later send that out as you can see here, create and share a new estimate, and then you can convert it into an invoice once maybe if you have a little bit of back and forth with the customer. You can then set that there too. In terms of the payment setup, we already went through that. You also have checkouts. So again, those are the different fees in terms of accepting payments within your business, sending out customer statements, so showing out in outstanding invoices. You also have that here. You can select a certain customer and create like a total statement for all of those things. So you can send this out to customers too. So this can be nice if maybe you do bill a certain customer a lot and you just want to have everything in one sheet. You can do that here too inside the customer statement sections. You can see all outstanding invoices or all account activity. Maybe if a customer requests it, or maybe even just for your own internal use. You can also track all your customer data here inside the customer section, as well as all the different products and services. So this is a good area if you want to maybe go in and bulk add all your different products and services in your business without having to go and make a bunch of invoices. You can either do that on the fly within invoices, or you can just add them here within the products and services section, and then that'll be saved for future invoices. When you go and make them, you'll already have all your products and services populated here within the invoicing dashboard. So that's pretty much everything within the Wave invoicing software under the different sales and payment options within the Wave app for Wave's invoicing. Again, Wave does also have, receipts, accounting, banking, payroll, reports, a lot of other features as well, but I did want to just make this video really just focused here on the Wave invoicing software, which is free to get started with. Again, links are down below in the video description. Again, guys, if you found this tutorial helpful on Wave invoicing, be sure to give that like button a good old smash up. So smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and the notification bell as well, so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.